So this is another variation on the Superfantastic shirt. I showed you the other one earlier in a very groovy print, but this one you can quite clearly see is in a solid, and it's actually in a knit. Now, to do a pattern like this in a knit, the usual rules apply. You can almost always do a pattern that's designed for woven fabrics in knits, but you can hardly ever do a pattern that's designed for knits in woven fabrics. But this one works just fine. This is a knit that hasn't got a lot of stretch, it's quite stable, but the key, of course, with using a knit, especially for a shirt collar like this, is you've got to make sure you use a good interfacing that's going to stabilise this. So don't use a knit interfacing, use a woven, and use it as lightweight as you can, otherwise you're going to get a big bulky old collar and stand, which is never going to look pretty. So this is it straight out of the envelope, done nothing to it, except we've made it really a feature piece, and it's a feature piece, it's got these really groovy trims on here instead of buttons. Now here's a little trick you may not be aware of, but it's used in design rooms all the time, I promise you. It's one of those little kind of sneaky secrets nobody really talks about. If you're in a design room and you're working on something like this, and you might think, well, you know, I need to use some snaps under these trims, or I want to have some buttons that match it, you would send out your buttons to be dyed to match, or you'd send them out to be coloured. Either way, you get perfectly matching buttons. Now, as home sewers, we don't always have that resource available to us. So what we end up having to do is being a little bit creative, but you know, if you're a sewer, you're already there. So what we often do, and what is known in a lot of design rooms too, is we kind of repurpose things. We'll get a button or a snap or some kind of trim that we need to use, and we'll colour it. We'll colour it with a pen, we'll use nail varnish, we'll use enamel paint. You know the little pots you get in those kids' model kits for aeroplanes or railroads? We'll use those, and we just don't care. And a lot of people do this, and they'll do it quite happily because it works. Obviously you do it before you've attached it to the garment. We've done it here on a couple of little snaps up here. I'm not even sure if you can see it. It doesn't make them invisible, it doesn't make them disappear, but it just knocks back that kind of shiny, shiny silver metal snap. So it's a really good trick to do if you want to do something that doesn't show so much, is to colour it with nail varnish or pen or enamel paint. If you do that, do not put your garment in the dryer. Don't do it, because you'll have a bit of a disaster, but it works really well. So we're really liking this trim because it does take a very simple piece out of the realms of being a basic and make it into quite a groovy, fabulous, fashionable piece. So the other variations I'm going to show you are quite different from this, but as I said, this one, straight out of the envelope, nothing done to it, beautiful as it is. So this is another variation on the Superfantastic shirt, and as you can see, we've lengthened it into a dress. And just so you know, this is something you can do to almost every shirt or top or dress pattern you've got. As long as it's kind of straight to the body, just lengthen it down to the length you want, and you've got a dress, which obviously gives you a lot more mileage for your pattern. Now this one we've done in this beautiful cranberry linen. It's a really lush colour, and it is gorgeous, but linen can be a bit scratchy. So we've lined the inside of the collar stand and also the inside of the yoke, which you can't see, with this really pretty silk charmeuse. You've got butterflies all over it, which is a really nice thing. And this is one of the good things about making your own things. You can put these little twiddly touches in that only you know about, only you can feel, and only you can see when they're hanging in your closet, but it's your stuff, so you should have what you want. Now, we've decided on this one, we're just going to leave the buttons and buttonholes off because we want it to be quite a casual, kind of groovy look. And obviously you can wear this with a cami underneath for decency's sake. You don't want too much showing there. And the other thing we've done with this is we've done a longer sleeve, and we've just cut it really to like a 3/4 length. And that's really so we've got things to play with. We can do what we want with it. And we've also straightened it. You'll notice when you look at the pattern, you'll see that the sleeve pattern is actually tapered and it goes in at the bottom. For this one, we've made it straight down to the bottom and straight over. And that means that we've got a lot more to play with. So for this one, you can see on this side, I've rolled it up. And it's really, really simple to do. All you do is just pick a turn back depth, roughly, and just keep rolling it up till you're happy with the length. And this will give you a really nice, kind of soft cap sleeve look. And when you've done this, what you end up with is almost like an urban version of a safari dress. Obviously you haven't got buttons and bits and pieces and pockets everywhere, but it's still a really nice, sharp little day dress. You can wear it to work, you can wear it out shopping, you can wear it in the evenings. Really, it's up to you. But the one thing I would say about this is do wear a belt with this, because it's the kind of shape that it'll look a bit smocky and a bit shapeless if you don't. So a belt's always good. If your waist is at the normal position or you've got a high waist, then you could, or sorry, a long body, so you can wear your belt at the normal place. If you're short-waisted, you just drop the belt down a little bit, sort of the, I'd say lower waist or top hip, and that looks great. So you can do anything like this with this shirt. Make it long, make it whatever length you want to do, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful dress. So this is the final variation on the Superfantastic shirt I'm going to show you. Not because we've run out of ideas, but quite frankly we could be making War and Peace with this one. This one we've actually originally cut, and we thought we'd do it as kind of a beach or poolside cover-up, and so we did it in a knit with a very groovy kind of bamboo print, which would still work as that. But when we put it on the stand, we realised actually it's a very, very nice kind of tunicky overshirt look. So what we did with it was we cut it extra long, but we kept the curved shirt tail. That's kind of quite important for this look. And we also left off the collar, so you've just got the collar stand. Now this makes it look a little bit more exotic. It's slightly Nehru collarish, it's slightly Mandarin collarish, so it has a very nice fresh look. Once again, we've left the buttons and buttonholes off, but that's really your choice. You can leave them on or not as you want. And we put it again under a camisole. So the nice thing with this is that you've got all these different length options to play with, and you've also got them with the sleeves. With this one, we've left the sleeves full length. A bit like the red one, we've taken the side seams down straight on the sleeve and straight across the bottom, but we've done it full length because we've got lots of different options. First option is you can leave it long, nice long tunicky look. Second option would be run a really narrow casing through the bottom here and elasticate it, and you've got a very slightly kind of peasant blouse look, which is all very Vivienne Westwoodian fabulous. Now with this one, I've laid it up with a waistcoat and with some pants, and what I really like with this is I've used a kind of a black and cream print on the back, so it kind of sits with this but doesn't match. So it's still in the same colour family, so it's quite designery but not too kind of matchy. So the other thing you can do with this, of course, if this is too much of a look for you, is you don't have to work with all the bits and pieces. You can take off the waistcoat quite easily, and you can wear it with a belt or not as you please. Again, at the waist or on the low waist, whatever you want to do. Or you can just wear it, if you remove the belt in my rather fiddly way, you can just wear it as a really nice, sleek overshirt or tunic. It's very kind of forgiving, and of course because you've got this nice sleek fit through the body, you don't look bulky, you just look long and fabulous. So this is a really nice variation on it. I would say that if you use the Superfantastic shirt pattern, you're going to get lots and lots and lots of mileage out of it, and that's really key. And also, you're going to look great in it. So what I would say is, use the pattern, make something beautiful, and please, when you've done so, send us a picture and put it on our gallery. Thank you so much for listening.